Will you let me know on YouTube if you can hear? It looks like everyone on TikTok can hear. YouTube people, let me know if you can hear now. I hope it's starting to work. And if the sound gets lost again, let me know. There seems to be a delay on YouTube. Yes, excellent. We can hear each other now. Very good. Very good. All right. So I am really happy to welcome you to our series. We will do these Magic of Ancient Fairy Tale live streams every month here on YouTube. If you're seeing this on TikTok, we will do shorter streams on TikTok every week in addition to this long monthly one. Some of you are returning to these themes. Some of you took my in-person classes with Magic of Ancient Fairy Tales, but if you're returning and the story meets you once again in this space, remember, it is not a repeat of your journey. It is a return of you changed and transformed in a new time, in a new place, in a new mindset, encountering the story and seeing what does it have to offer you at this time around. If you're here for the first time, I welcome you warmly. I hope you're going to stay in our circle as we journey through different stories and our magical story adventures. It's going to be very, very fun. We will merge magic of ancient fairy tales with some personal ritual experiences, and of course fiber magic wherever possible, wherever we can meet it and weave it in. It is very important to remember that the enchanted fairy tale forest does not ask when we arrive. It only asks that we listen with an open heart and a mind open to magical realms. Fairy tales, my friends, are not entertainment. They are initiations that unfold slowly over our lifetimes. And once you step into this realm, you're going to discover that there will be one powerful fairy tale that's going to become part of your journey. We're going to encounter many, and on my path of diving deeply into this realm and discovering what magic it holds, I have connected with many, many, many stories, but there are a few, very few, that have become truly a part of my path. And I'm very excited for you to find those stories for yourself. If you already have one or more, please go to the chat and drop the name of the story there so that we start to get to know each other and we start to get to know what stories are alive. Or if you're on TikTok, drop a comment and share with us what story is truly alive for you if you have already been walking the realm of the magic of ancient fairy tales. These stories, these threads are threads that remember. They remember, and our hands remember, and our intentions weave them together. Throughout the year, we will meet here, and one symbol, one story, one stitch at a time will start to take a deeper meaning for us. In a way, I am inviting you into a book that has not been written and published, but a book that is a living book of stories, a living book of experiences in the realm of fairy tale magic that walks with us. We can call it the threaded forest. That's what I named the video thread and the live stream playlist. So let's call it our threaded forest of tales and threads on the way of enchantment. And we may not even finish the book throughout the year. It is a living being itself. What we speak, what we stitch, what we remember together becomes the breath in its pages. So tonight we begin where many fairy tale paths begin, with an enchanted tree, an enchanted apple tree. Not just any apple, an enchanted golden apple tree. The fairy tale we're going to connect with is called The Golden Apples and Nine Peahens. Now, if you want one of the oldest versions of the story, I would suggest going to, um, you can search oldest versions of the fairy tale, The Golden Apples and the Nine Peahens, or you can go to sacred-texts.com and search for um, 60 folk tales from Slavonic sources. It will give you a version from 1890. And that version is what we will remember today. The rule of three is in this story. The dragon is in the story. The missing bride exists in the story. And of course, magical animal helpers too. So let's remember this story. Long ago, in a kingdom, behind 7 misty mountains and across 7 blue seas, it was dawn. It broke in golden hues. A young prince wandered into a forest grove, said to be guarded by 9 peahens. Each morning, when mist still clung to the branches, the peahens descended from the sky to feast upon the tree that bore shiny golden apples. Whoever tasted these fruits, it was whispered, would gain beauty immeasurable, wisdom older than ancient, and the power to heal broken hearts, both broken and weary, with sadness, with loss, with love that got lost. But, as you know, such treasures never come without trials. The prince was told he must keep vigil for 3 nights beside the sacred tree. Each night the 9 peahens came, their feathers shimmering like sunlight on water. On the 3rd night, as the prince reached for an apple, the eldest peahen stepped forward and took human form. To hold the golden apple, she said, is to be changed forever. What you heal in others, you must first heal in yourself. What beauty you see in the world, you must first see in yourself. So she asked the prince, "Are you ready?" The prince accepted. The apple shone in his hand, and his journey of wisdom, beauty, and love began. You can read the story. It is a very long story. It's too long for our live stream. It will be a long storytelling. I want you to read it later. But for right now, let's consider these highlights, these main essential parts of the story. The apple, I'm sorry. The apple is one of the oldest fruits of enchantment that we know. Across cultures, it appears again and again as a threshold fruit. In many Slavic tales, golden apples are guarded treasures of healing, rebirth, and renewal. There are Greek myths where the golden apple brings rivalry and revelation. There are Norse myths where golden apples bring immortality and endless youth. There are Celtic tales where apples lead us to Avalon, the Isle of Healing and timeless beauty. To work with golden apple is to work with radiance, inner light, beauty that flows outward, wisdom rooted in the heart. But every true enchantment carries a little bit or a lot of a shadow. The golden apples also warns us of vanity, false promises, and surface beauty that can lack depth. When you cut an apple crosswise, you find a five-pointed star inside. Apples have always carried mystery of nourishing, mystery of creation, healing, and safety in dangers. We know stories from the Isle of Apples of Avalon, Idun's apples of immortality and endless youthful beauty, Eris's apple of discord. The apple is knowledge and redemption, folk customs of apple magic. The poisoned apples, the enchanted apples. They seem to always carry a question. What are you truly seeking? What are you truly hungry for? So let's pause for a moment and close our eyes and imagine that we're standing in an orchard beneath silver moonlight. Golden apples glow softly on every branch. One apple calls you. Take that apple into your hands and feel its warmth. Ask quietly, what beauty within me longs to shine? Pause and listen. What beauty within you longs to shine? Jot that down if you want to remember it, or remember to come back and think about it later in your own reflections. Magic becomes real when it passes through our hearts and then through our hands. So today, let's consider a way to let the golden apple's magic pass through our hands. Let's imagine a golden apple. And let's now pour our vision through our hearts into our hands and down to our fingertips so that we may use a needle and some golden thread to stitch a golden apple talisman. Now here I am wearing a scarf that I received recently as a gift. It's very soft. It's very comfortable and very comforting, and its green color reminds me of renewal. So I thought, what better place to put a little golden apple charm than on this scarf? Now, you are going to notice that I'm going to take it off. Remember, old folk magic tells us never cut or stitch garments that you're wearing while you're wearing them. So we're going to choose a corner. I'm going to go to this corner here. There are no tags. And we're going to imagine in our mind's eye this apple. We're not going to draw it. We're not going to sketch it or use a pattern. We're going to free stitch it. We're going to stitch it freely so that it comes truly from our heart through our hands. It doesn't need to be perfect. It is only your golden apple, and no one really knows why it is on your accessory, on your scarf, on the corner of your sleeve, on the inside of your purse. And as you stitch, listen to your heart. Listen to the space between your thoughts. Let your hands tap into that gap of timelessness, that gap where renewal and nourishment can be accessed. Now, if you're not prepared to stitch with me right now, you can definitely do this at a different time. And of course, you can do this with other stories and other forms and other images as well that are meaningful and magical to you personally. Now, here, as I go around with the golden thread, you're going to see just freely, I am just freehanding it with my needle and thread. It's starting to curve, and slowly it's going to become a shape that to me resembles a very simple apple shape. And like any magic, it it listens to your heart, but it also listens to your words. I weave and I stitch. Radiance. I create and I stitch. Beauty. I embrace and I stitch threads of wisdom. These do not have to be the words that go into your charm, that you stitch onto your accessory or piece of clothing. You are going to have your own magical words that your own heart will speak to you and send through your hands. Now I'm going to let you keep stitching after the live. For right now, let's imagine how this apple, how this charm can remind us of the blessings that we are given in our lives. Even in the hardest and darkest of days, there are things we can find to be grateful for. Think of a tiny moment of beauty on your path. Maybe it was grand, lavish, luxurious, but maybe it was tiny. Maybe it was a glimpse of a beautiful moment when you caught a sight of a goldfinch flying from branch to branch as you looked through your window or stood in your front yard. Consider a blessing of healing. Maybe it was as simple as realizing that your headache was gone. Maybe it was as intense and dramatic as a recovery from a more intense challenge. Maybe a broken heart was mended. As you stitch, pour your gratitude for these blessings into your charm. And yes, of course, while there is the shiny side of the apple, there is also the shadow side of the apple charm. The shadow side is always honest, even when we're not prepared to meet it. It's going to check and see if we are going to be able to resist temptations. It's going to check and see if we can stay centered in the storm of emotions. Its wisdom words are simple. Be brave, be true to yourself. And the wisdom words of our golden apple charm are also simple and clear. Radiance is your birthright. You can shine and glow with all the renewing, beautiful radiance from within every day. I would love to know in the comments or the chat if you remember this story, if there are some meanings that are new to you as you consider it now, that you consider it after a while, that maybe were not coming to your mind in the past. So here you see how simple the shape can be. Very simple. It does not need to be perfect in anyone's eyes, not even yours, but especially someone else's. It only needs to have meaning and magic that you are aware of, for it is your charm, meant for your healing, meant to remind you of the beauty and healing that surrounds you. Let's see. To check on our YouTube friends here to make sure they can still hear us and see us. Remember to follow if you're on TikTok or subscribe if you're on YouTube so that you know when our weekly and monthly live streams will happen in the realm where fairy tales meet fiber threads. If you would like to receive stories, invitations, and offerings beyond the live streams, you can add your email to our circle at theroseandthebee.org. If you go to And for those who want to step into this work in person and who live close to St. Louis, Missouri, I will be teaching in-person classes at Pathways Bookstore throughout this year. So connect with the store and join. Uh, Stop by to shop and ask them about ancient fairy tale magic classes so that you can sign up if you're in that area. If someone you love, or a friend or a loved one loves stories and fairy tales and threads, invite them to our live streams and our circles. It'd be great to have them and to expand our circle. Replays from live streams will remain available so that you can go back and listen to them again on YouTube. On TikTok, you're not going to be able to see all the replays, but on YouTube, you will see monthly replays. So, today, the golden apple taught us that the beauty is not a mask, it's not in makeup. The beauty is the light born when wisdom and love meet and work in harmony. As you stitch, as you dream, as you walk the forest, remember that radiance is your birthright. You are love, and love is in you, always and around you. See you again very soon in the enchanted realm where fairy tales meet fiber threads. See you very soon. And thank you so much for being here for this first live stream. We're going to meet every week on TikTok here. And next month, I will see you with a new story on both YouTube and TikTok. See you soon. Bye.